Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is Vagabond Gaming presents Critical Role's The Call of Netherdeep. I am pretty excited to be doing this. We are here with our DM, David Coronis, the badass himself. We are joined by Seasone Sage, who is playing the feathered fiend Andromedy, who has become affectionately known as Andy. And we have Kitten US. What's your? I
You can call me Kit. That's my tag
Kit
normally. So
playing Solana, who is a soft-spoken, quiet type who hasn't yet shown their true colors, but is a mountain of mystery. We have Pango, a giant fuck-off dragon man of murder magnificence. And then there's me, the little elf that could. And we last left us, our group, we had just defeated a group of bullywogs on our way to the mines to figure out more about a strange glyph that had appeared on some patrons that Valen was forced to murder. Seto was forced to murder. Forced, I tell you.
The mines are more of the ruins of Draconia.
Runes of Draconia. So, that, my friends, is where we... Oh, Christmas. Are... I didn't realize this... All this here was... Oh, chicken butts, guys. Chicken butts.
You heard him say it, chicken butts.
chicken butt. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Yes.
Chicken butts.
What in the chicken butt? I believe is what the kids are saying. I actually forgot I had Zoom set up on the thing. So what we're gonna do is switch between this and that for the zooming of things, and we're gonna cover up the writing because what writing?
What writing?
But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We just defeated the group of bullywogs, as I mentioned, on our way to the mines in order to figure out the glyph that caused some people to force me to murder them. And after that, we find ourselves, after that combat, weary.
I can pick up.
Thank you. I'm like, I fucking forget.
The adventure had started with everybody meeting at an inn in the town of... Leah, do you have your notes?
I don't think you told me the town name.
Of Charis.
Okay.
Which is in the southern part of Jorhas in the Wild Mount continent of Wild Mount. Charis is primarily a halfling and dragonborn. It's about a 50-50 split. Its citizens. While they're at an inn, rival groups of halflings and dragonborns got into a kerfuffle in which Seto and the gang quickly dispatched, with Andy rolling a successful knowledge arcana check first it was investigation to find it behind the ear of these members. It was a glyph actually it was a failure of an arcana check, if I remember.
I think I got the arcana check.
What's Lana? Is that your name?
Yep.
Lana got the arcana check to realize that it was a glyph of rage. They went to the chieftain where a dragonborn and a halfling are like co-chieftains of this small village town, and said that others have came back from the ruins of Draconia with these glyphs, and they want this party to go and check it out. On their way there, they intercepted a couple of Dragonborn hunters getting ambushed by bullywugs. Quickly dispatched of them, and that's where we're picking up right there. Actually, I don't think they've talked about anything. So, getting into it, we have 4 setos. Which one are you right now, actually? So we can clean up this map a little bit.
Dale.
Seto.
I forget which one it was last time. Let's just go with Summer.
Yeah. Definitely a red-haired one. So.
All right, yeah. Let's go Summer.
Which is what, the top one?
Yes.
All right. I do believe one Dragonborn did fall, but got healed by one of you.
Yeah.
He is still currently laying on the ground, being on the brink of death, in a state of happy to be alive. The other is helping him and looks up to you in a deep voice. Thanks. We would have been dead if it weren't for you. And he actually looks at Milo, recognizing, and then Pongo, and says, "What brings you guys out this way?" Looking at you, Pongo, as you're a friendly face. We'll say that this is George. George the Dragonborn.
Love to see it.
Small town, you know him.
We're going to the mines.
What's that?
We're going to the mines, right?
Oh yeah, we've heard rumor of the ruins being quite dangerous lately. What? Sorry, my dogs are acting up about something. What sends you to the mines?
You're hired to go do a job.
What job? To investigate the mines?
Yeah. Yep, that one.
And who are your friends here? Pointing at the ragtag group of bright red-haired. You have a cloak on, right, Seto? I can't remember.
All you can see is his eyes, which at this point look like 2 coals, like at the bottom of a fire. Just that kind of like white, but like that dancing embers in it.
So George looks at your ragtag bunch of owlin, red coal-eyed, hooded figure, and Lana. Can you describe your character for me? It has
No, you're good. Just kind of ghostly pale with shorter black hair and not a single light to those eyes. They're pitch black.
So yeah, you picture yourself up a motley crew here, as some would say.
I say, yeah. I met them at the bar. They're great. Look at them. Try to take over.
Well, I believe it was Andy that saved the one, right? Andy healed?
Yeah.
I thank you, Bird.
Oh,
Lady?
don't worry about it.
Question?
Yeah, I mean, lady, I'm as humanoid as you, ish. And she kind of smiles, but because she's got a beak and can't smile, it's just more like feather positive ruffling.
With an does the beak at least open? Like
It opens like a bird, but have you ever seen a bird smile? It
they just
doesn't
open their
happen.
mouth. Yeah, they
It
just.
doesn't happen.
It just, it just,
All right.
it just positive feather ruffling.
Well, I thank you, and well, you guys have good luck in your travels to the ruins. I heard it's a pretty nasty place. Of recently, nasty place to be.
Mongol yells, is there anything you can tell us about the mine before we go?
I mean, just that people that go there come back angry. It's unlike anything we've ever seen before. Don't know what's going on. It was we used to go all the time for Draconia used to be there. We're looking for ancient artifacts, and it's not even that ancient. It only happened like 30 years ago that it fell, but artifacts from the ruins of Draconia, and now it's so scarce that people even adventure there. It's just dangerous. Just watch your guys' backs.
Okay, thanks. And then I start to walk away.
There's a one that nearly died, and then there's a fairly healthy one, right? That's like leading the way home.
Yeah, the fairly healthy one is like kneeled down next to his hunting partner. I met they're best friends. George is the fairly healthy one talking to you
all right,
guys.
sweet. Then Seto goes up to George and extends a hand, like a handshake. And if he accepts, I'm gonna cast guidance.
Oh,
and
he does. He does. He is highly appreciative of you guys saving their lives. I mean,
he's making sure he gets home safe.
I thank you, and he feels that. Imagine it's like a beam of like light energy that transfers into his hand.
I feel like it's more like a warmth that goes from the handshake into his heart that makes him feel good and gives him a little boost the next time he does some shit. Because it's a cantrip. It's like it shouldn't be so flashy.
Alright. So yeah, he feels confident in his ability to get back home safe with his friend, and that he quickly helps up, and his friend holding his side from where the bullywog had stabbed him, and I think the giant toad had taken a bite out of him. He says, it coughs up a little bit of blood. I thank you. If you're ever back in town, drinks around me. And they start limping off, George and the Dragonborn who didn't say his name.
Seto shouts, "You'll never regret being alive more when I take you up on that offer, good sir."
And he very weakly cheers with his invisible flask. It's not actually a flask or invisible. Imaginary, I should say. Invisible is real in D&D.
Fair.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Milo says, "Boy, that fight took a lot out of me. What do you guys think? We still got about 4 hours left today. If we travel fast, we can get there. But man, am I tired."
I could definitely do with a rest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used up all my spells in that last fight.
You're telling me you guys are all tall, running around chasing after these frog folk. Little legs can't keep up.
You did well enough.
No, I think I missed every shot, but thank you.
Hey, you miss every shot you don't take.
Very wise words. Where'd you hear that? Where are you from?
That's Michael Scott by Wayne Gretzky.
I haven't heard of him.
He's a deep philosopher from Scruntone.
Well, I know these woods like the back of my hand. I'd say we travel about 25 more minutes that way, and we'll get to a nice little clearing. We can set up camp out of this wet ground, and yeah, just follow me.
All right.
You guys travel 25 minutes, uneventful. But Milo ahead of you guys like pulls away some brush, and it is about a 20-foot, where there's no big trees or anything more than like a small brush growing here. The canopy is still overhead from the trees around this little clearing, but it seems pretty clear, and it seems like in the middle of this clearing there had been a fire pit at least once before. Not lit or anything, no smoke coming out.
Are there any dead trees around?
Nothing's dead.
Let's chop down a tree.
Can you? I mean, you have an axe. You can certainly try.
Chop down a tree.
And while she's doing that,
Like you trying to get like firewood out of it, or you trying to just chop down the biggest tree
chop
that
it
you
up
can?
and use my rough weapon to make fire.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me what are you doing? What's that for?
that's me rolling for stealth. While she's doing that, I'm going to hide in the brush, because if there's already been a camp made here, there might be people around. So he's gonna like hide and keep a lookout.
You roll strength. Athletics, I guess, would be the correct. This is a very athletic thing to do, chopping down a tree. Okay, so you think you're stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just roll a d20.
And
Milo doesn't say nothing.
can I roll a perception check?
Well, so if you go to D&D Beyond right here, you roll with athletics, which is up here, I think. Oh, yep, right there. You just hit that button right there.
Nice.
Yeah, you chop down that tree with quite ease. You chop it up in the logs. Perfect firewood, except it was still alive, so it's not quite perfect. It's still a little damp, but getting the fire hot enough will definitely get it burning good. And Seto, yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Shasha! Oh yeah. 21.
You certainly see and hear the tree being chopped. Milo is looking for someone or something. He's like going through the brushes, like looking. Not sure what Andy or Lana are doing, but whatever they're doing, you see them, and you see some wildlife, but nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing to cause concern.
All right.
Milo speaks up when the tree falls. Damn it, Pongo! You're really good with that axe. Probably should start training with that. What do you play again? What's your drum thing called?
A tongue drum.
You probably should practice your tongue drum a little bit, as much as you practice with that axe. Where'd that stealthy little feller go? Or tall feller? The coal-eyed one? The one that looks like his eyes are on fire, but they're not. They're almost done being on fire.
I'll roll my own perception check.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I did not roll
No!
great. Yes!
I kind of look around and try and see what I can find with my owl eyes.
Oh, fuck!
Owl eyes!
While Milo and Lana are like looking in brushes way too small to even fit Seto. You do see Seto. Imagine, I think he said he was in a brush.
Yeah.
And he's not quite even looking at you at this point. He's like keeping an eye out, while being relatively hidden, but not hidden enough for your owl eyes.
I pretend I don't see him, giggle to myself, and go, I just don't know where he's gone. He could be anywhere, somewhere,
Oh my
anywhere.
god.
I go along with it. I see him. If we're in trouble, I know how to get him. But I'm gonna let him keep it. He seems like distracted and happy, so I'm gonna let him have it.
I know Milo isn't super concerned about whether you're lying or not, but I don't know, Lana, would you be?
No.
Okay.
I make it fairly obvious that it's like in the wind somewhere, maybe. Like I'm just not gonna.
It's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
He's like, so what do you guys have for food? He's like, he pulls out from his pack. He got some dried meats and a squirrel that he had gotten along the way on this travel. He says, well, this squirrel's enough for me, but I'll be happy to split it with you folks. But we might need a little bit more if you guys are hungry.
Pulls out the rations that she bought
Helga.
from Helga. Yeah.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, I did.
Well, but Milo doesn't even know that, so good DM. Yeah, that's it.
I did not know that.
well, you guys got the good stuff. Well, Pongo, can you hurry up with that fire?
Is it not built?
I mean, you chopped the tree down.
I lit it on fire with my breath.
Oh shoot, yeah, you do have that. Well, you do it. He's like, oh, I always forget you Dragonborn have that such a great feature about you folks. He says, kind of like like.
Did I do an insight check?
You don't even really need one. You like. The halflings and dragonborns have like a rivalry. You know, the halflings are play to their strengths of being stealthy, while the dragonborn are like, I'm big, broody, and.
Okay, different question. Am I not picking up that he's sarcastic?
No, you are picking up that he's like, he appreciates the fact that you have it in this, especially in the scenario where he's able to cook his food relatively quickly and not having to start a fire. But he also is jealous. It's like a jealousy thing.
I pull out my tongue drum. I go right next to him, and I just start playing and not care if I sound good, just to annoy him. And if he walks away, I follow him.
Well, are you trying to play good, or?
No, I just don't play it to annoy him. And then I follow him around if he moves. So. No,
he kind of just, he's been in the bar enough to know that you're not super great at it, but he cooks his squirrel and
before he does that, Lana would just hand him her own rations. I don't eat much myself, and then just hands it over to him.
He takes it. Well, thank you so much, Lana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much. He doesn't eat it. He puts it away because that'll be good for a little bit. He has a squirrel right now, and he says, well, "I'm not gonna waste this squirrel." But are you guys all around the fire at this point? You know that Pongo has built and Milo has quickly started using.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "So what brings you guys all down here to I wouldn't even call it a town, this village of Charis? Not very many visitors, and all of a sudden there's just four of you. It's very odd."
I'm just exploring for the moment. And this has just so happened where it took me.
Explorer folk. I like that. I'm not much of an explorer outside these woods. I kind of like home, but I think I can kind of understand. I've read a couple books that have made their way down here to Charis, and always sound like fun, but I don't think it's for Milo. Well, how about you, Andy? What brings you down here to Charis?
Sage?
Mike's muted, Sage.
Oh no. It's a JJ.
Oh, not the talkative type, huh? Well, have you said?
Yeah, he came around the
imagine
fire.
Everyone's introduced themselves to Milo at least.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we did in the previous sessions or not, but well, how about you, Seto? You
Oh, I'm.
Bullywog? He's like just still like in awe just of what you are, what is happening.
Yeah. Even though you can only just see like from
the eyes.
Yeah. It's like, well, I heard tell that they had broomstone in the area, and I wanted to see what I could do to procure myself some. It seems like a wasted opportunity with it all just sitting in the ground, such as it is.
Oh yeah, Draconia was lifted up by that stuff. Not much of it stays in charge for very long. We get the rich folk coming down here and with their massive caravans and such, but there might still be a little bit left.
Well, that's why I'm here.
More of a guide. I bring the rich folks here. They pay me a little bit of coin, maybe a book, and I bring them back to wherever they need to go, to the edge of the wood, and then I go back home.
Good deal.
So, why don't we set up camp and get a nice little rest here? I'm gonna climb this tree here and get a good look out. I can take first watch if you want.
Fair enough. I don't. I just need a quick 4 hours, and then I can putter around a bit.
Only 4 hours? You sleep fast. You well rested after that 4 hours?
Yeah, it's good enough. I can't do too much thereafter. You got to get a certain running temperature of things, but it being what I am has its perks. And he kind of winks at him, still not saying exactly what that is.
Well, whatever you are, that's a great little feature you have there, just like the Dragonborn over here with his fiery breath.
Oh yeah.
He climbs a tree and.
Pablo's gonna take first watch.
Dave, I'm gonna DM you something because I'm not sure. Because I know one of my racial abilities. I'm gonna DM it to you via Discord because I'm not sure if I don't think I can keep watch during this. My features.
I would like to know whether it would be an insight or like, I don't know, insight, maybe history check it to understand what Seto's reference might be.
What did he say?
Well, he specifically mentioned the timing of his rest and said it was to do with what he was.
Okay.
So I want to know if my character knows anything from that.
I will. Lana first. Uh, you will. I will say, as long as you're
Not
in,
moving.
yeah, in like just sitting there, kind of, you can move your head. I'll say moving your
Okay.
head is still
Yeah,
motionless.
so I can make a perception check. So I can
Correct.
do watches. Okay.
Yep.
We're good.
And then, I, as a DM, am not entirely sure on what Seto is referring to. So, yeah, I mean,
I do.
Yeah, it's
I-
trance.
It's
It's the
trance.
same thing all elves have.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to what he is. Like, I'm like, I know what he is, but I don't know his race fully.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
All elves trance and
Yeah.
only elves trance.
Oh, okay. So, well, you come from Roshana, correct?
I do. No.
You.
I technically don't.
It was from the woods outside of Roshana, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Vermalock Wildwood.
Yeah.
And-
I mean,
and you-
around Roshana. Yeah, around Roshana.
You have seen enough dark elves to understand that what an elf is. So I will say, you can probably, without even rolling, you can probably put 2 and 2 together.
Would I also
Okay.
like because of my time in the Feywild, would I also have an understand? I'm assuming would I have an understanding because that's their whole shtick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll, like 4 hours of rest is, the halfling is very in a gated community with just Dragonborn and halfling. There's some outsiders, but he's not necessarily watching them sleep. The people that come for the broomstone aren't poor. They have that they're in their covered wagons and what have you. So he's not like watching them sleep or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's very sheltered in terms of his experience of the world. He's read like 4 or 5 books of adventures. Whether they be fiction or or nonfiction. Yeah, fact or fiction. He's read them, and he that's too good to be true, and even though it might be true and stuff. So he's just naive, I guess, is the best way to put
word,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, he climbs the tree, and he's like, well, I'll take first watch. That's not, I'm doing a different voice now, but I think we're back at it now. So yeah, I'll take first watch, you guys, and Pongo, would you keep it down?
Well, I would take first watch with him.
Okay.
And still.
If Pongo kind of offers to take first watch as well, it's like Lana would just kind of raise her hand slightly. I don't really need to sleep much myself either, so if you want to rest, either of you can.
Pongo just wants
You're a little. Milo looks at Pongo, is like, you got a creepy friend here. I might just keep watch of your friend, and you can. What?
Your character was a she, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. She is great at consciousness. Carry on.
Well, what? Yeah, you go ahead, take first watch, and I'll get some rest up here. And he spends most of the night just kind of staring at you, Lana. Like,
Fair. Just gonna roll that perception check. Yay, I rolled decent.
Anyone who's snoring, I don't know if Andy does a little who in her sleep.
It's a hoot. It's a whole hoot.
Love it. Love to see it.
But you notice Milo is keeping watch of you, and so you hear some cricks, sticks crackling, but it's just like imagine a squirrel just jumping off of small twigs and stuff. Throughout the night, like an acorn maybe falls next to your head.
Yeah.
You're a little startled by it, but I guess I don't know how afraid of things you are if you're a fearful person, but maybe you're not startled by it. Maybe you're like gain pleasure in having an acorn launch in your head. I don't know. But yeah, uneventful for the first few hours. Milo does end up falling asleep up in his tree. Pongo, you kind of, you know, your music's getting slower and slower, and you end up falling asleep as well. Um, Maybe not after waking up whoever decided to take second watch, but you play yourself to sleep with your tongue drum.
I'll take second watch.
Because it's another set of watches, do you want me to roll another perception check or keep my current one?
Yeah, and then whoever else is
Okay.
taking watch, they can roll one.
All right.
No. No.
I don't know
this
what I
time-
rolled. Hey.
When an acorn falls, it does scare you because it took you a minute to even realize that it fell. Like, wait, how'd this acorn get in my lap almost?
Mm-hmm.
Seto, rather uneventful for your watch. Nothing major seems to be happening tonight.
All right, I'm gonna let.
We'll do one more watch, and then
I'm gonna let Thorondos go, kind of, on like overhead patrol.
oh, you just kind of like circling the area.
Yeah. So if
Do they have dark?
yes, they are Bloodhawks, which I mean they do. Let me make sure.
I know they have advantage on vision.
Yeah,
checks,
that's. I could be confusing.
I know an owl.
No, I
has
had the keen.
perception.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but-
no dark vision. No dark vision. Never mind. Then he's still asleep. He's still asleep. He's chillaxing. We got a night
Okay.
bird.
And you said one more set of perception checks, correct?
Yep. Is it just
Okay.
you awake this time?
How many hours has it been?
Oh shit! I fucked up.
What?
What do you mean?
I fucked up because I'm a dumb. Keep going. Sorry.
I
There
don't.
we go.
Would it be only because are the watches split up in 2, 2, 2, or is it like
We'll do. It's like 3-hour watches.
okay? So
I'm
three,
just
three.
like-
sleep.
You don't need to sleep for like a full 8 hours as long as you're like a rest.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure rules is written is you don't need to be sleeping for 8 hours. It just needs to be like a rest with at least
Yeah.
some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do like a 9-hour rest for
Okay.
the
So I'll
people that need
go.
to prepare spells in the morning.
Okay.
I'll go for one more then.
I would be awake then.
Oh, wait.
Cause 6 hours is enough for me to sleep, and then it would just be light movement kind of thing, so I could keep watch for the last one. So let me just roll.
Yeah, you're probably gonna roll better than me.
I would imagine so.
I would
It might
hope
not.
so. There you go.
You do hear in the distance a little bit of a howl. Not quite wolf, but definitely some sort of dog. But it seems to be traveling away from you. Lana, you hear it faintly too, especially with Andy's, curiosity in that direction. You tilting your head, like following her head, you're able to hear it. Seto, you as well, but it does seem to be traveling away from you. Seems to be all good. Night well rested. Nothing eventful happened, and fire is dwindling. Unless you guys have added logs to it at this point.
No, that's cool. As morning starts to break and it becomes more daytime, Andy becomes even more like drowsy for some. Like the night she was all right, and then now she's like slowly starting to fall back to sleep in the last kind of bit. She's not
yeah.
good at morning. Morning specifically is the enemy.
Morning
at this
is the
point,
enemy, yes.
the sun is just coming up. You guys did get early bed, so it's like the sun like it's still dark. You like in order to see it, you would still need dark vision, but the sun is like starting to peak over the horizon.
All right. Can you remove Summer, please?
Can you not delete your tokens?
No, I don't know how.
Okay. Like
Yeah, I don't know either.
Can you right click your token?
You can right click it, but there's like the little gear button, and that's all you can really do with it.
Okay. So
Oh, you can make a radius on your token?
Oh, you can do all sorts.
I didn't know that.
I can be a snail. A pink snail.
Milo wakes up and climbs down his tree. And, so how did you guys all sleep last night? And he pulls out some of the rations you gave him and nibbles on them a little bit.
This morning, when Seto reaches out to grab some food, his hands seem like almost black and it looks. Anybody who's been traveling knows frostbite when they see it. You know what I mean? And his hands up to basically like his third knuckle, almost up his forearm is like just it gets more and more blue, less black as it goes up his forearm, and his eyes no longer look like they're on fire, but essentially like pools of black ice.
I will say that perhaps Lana might know, but as far as Ponko and Andy are concerned, they've had cold-ish, Pongo not a dog. Pongo's really warm, but Andy, you like the coldest you've gotten. I don't know what it would be in Celsius, but
snow. Like
Snow.
minimal snow.
There was like no, there wasn't quite snow. It was like cold rain.
Yeah,
Not enough to get frostbite. So
most
of you have studied it, because I think you've done a little bit of in your backstory, a little bit of library studying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that fits into your backstory at all. If you want to roll, you can, but you might not know what it is.
What role would it be?
History?
What knowledges do you have? Do you
Medicine?
have history?
I have history. I don't have medicine, but I'm not sure you need it to roll it. I think you just don't get proficiency.
I would say history.
Okay.
Like, because this was be.
I think it's specifically to roll to see what race you are. I think that's what the roll is for, right?
No, it's
What frostbite is.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
You know, like something's obviously happened with whatever Seto is, and Milo's even more concerned and like, you like, I'll say you have read about frostbite, and this, from what you've read, obviously, you know, there's no pictures in D&D beyond like sketches and stuff, but there's wasn't even a sketch of frostbite. It's just described as what frostbite is, and you could probably determine that this might be frostbite.
Okay.
Milo, on the other hand, is like, what in the fuck is up with your hand?
Okay, so as Milo panics, she takes that to mean that she might be right about what she's thinking. And Andy kind of approaches Seto and is like, it wasn't too cold for you last night, was it?
weather was just
cold.
fine.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Oh,
that.
the weather was just fine. There's I don't know. I can't do it as well in the southern accent. I'm going back to the original. Sorry, everybody. I just feel awkward doing a European accent with like an actual European in my face.
I know the feeling.
But yeah, so I'll just pick up here. The weather was fine enough.
So, you know what? Are you okay?
I'm fine as I ever be.
Then that is all I need to know. And she just goes over to Milo, like comforts him slightly. It's not what you think, and then just walks on to like look at the rest of camp, kind of tidy away her bedroll and stuff. Like if she's been told by Seto it's fine, she already knows Seto's strange.
Milo looked at Pongo. I don't know what I think. Guys, this way, guys. This way, guys.
This way, guys.
And, it's about another 5-hour journey. Anybody want to make a perception check? They can do so.
Can I make a
I'll say
perception check with
3.
advantage? With my bird
for your
helping?
Bloodhawk.
Jesus Christ!
I.
This is the third 5.
Oh, girl, I'm sorry.
Hey, at least it's just for the perception checks.
Yeah, at least it's nothing too.
Oh, at least you didn't get one of those. Thank God it's advantage. Fucking Andy. So, Andy, what did we see this time?
Any character I've ever had before.
Jeez.
As you're getting closer to the mountains that are getting larger and larger, you are seeing more and more like breakage in the ground from where carts have traveled over this area. They've not necessarily traveled the same path you have from Charis, but at this point, you're going into where the 2 mountain ranges, a valley, I guess is the correct word, between 2 mountain ranges. The carts and stuff becoming more and more thick here. Other than that, more of a path now. Nothing really catches your eye in terms of any danger or what have you. I don't know if anyone's trying to hide anything, but you probably see it if they are. And Milo's just leading the way, kind of whistling and doing halfling things.
Oh, I didn't even. Her 25 made me not even want to roll the second part of my advantage. Sorry. All right. Oh wait, no, I did. I just got a 9 because I suck. I take that back. I'm sorry. Everybody's beautiful.
It's not my fault.
No, it's all your fault. How dare you get a 25?
My God.
I swear this happened last time.
Upon reaching the valley, looking in, you do see like a wide open, it's like a wide open valley. Trees are small here, like fresh, almost very young trees are growing. You see there's just this pile of rock in the middle. With what looks to be some kind of architecture mixed in with it, all crumbled. You have arrived at the ruins of Draconia. Along the mountainsides, you see dozens and dozens of caves, entrances, I should say, not necessarily caves. You see, I guess they are caves, cave entrances on either side of this pile of rubble, with your high perception, you do hear what's a gong, I guess is a bong, bang, whatever.
I believe the term is crash.
Crash.
No, or is it? No, it's bang a gong, right? That's the song. Get it on, bang it on.
It is called gong.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's a gong that he's using. Is what is Red's name? Oh, Trum.
Trombone.
I
Yeah,
love to see it.
I'm very
yeah,
happy with it.
Trum. You. Well, we'll get to you in a minute. But yeah, you hear like a loud gong clash.
Clang, isn't it?
Yeah, like you know what a gong is, right? Whatever
Yeah, I
noise
do.
it
Gong.
when it gets hit by something.
There, that one sounds right.
But yeah, so it's not quite like the cymbals, that's more of a crash to me. I think a gong's more of a
Gong.
yeah. You do hear that, and some howls and barks.
Well, that seems unimportant and irrelevant. I feel like we should ignore it. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, those are the wolves they heard the other night, and since they didn't deal with them then, it is almost like it's their responsibility now. So,
The wolves were out of reach then.
well, I'm gonna send the hawk over to kind of see. Yeah, we're gonna go over and see. Me and the hawk. We're gonna check out the gong.
Alright.
Andy flies too.
Hey, you guys wanna? Yeah. Andy. Sorry. Seto sends Thorondos with Andy, so like they're in the skies together while he's like on the ground.
Alright. Is Trum here?
Red. Okay, now he's like, I'm not here, guys. I left because I hate you.
No.
I lost my Zoom. I had to find it.
So is everyone kind of rushing over while the birds are flying?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, sorry. I think I spoke for everybody, and I should never ever do that.
I know Pongo said that he was following you, Seto.
I'd probably like try to just stealth a little bit, just stick in the back, just in case.
Milo's actually hiding behind you.
Okay.
Lana, because he's a halfling and he can do that.
Yeah.
He's got his short bow out and he's like, yeah, I'm with you, lady. And just kind of keeps looking at you, and your weird, creepy visage, and is like, yeah, I'm safer behind her.
21 stealth.
Yeah, you and him are very, very stealthed.
Just so I know, is there a map for this, or?
I have not made a map.
All right, no. I just wanted to know for me.
Do one real quick if you want.
No. We can do theater of the mind.
We can just use the same map as last time.
No, I don't think he has like
one.
stuff, like even the monsters ready. It's fine. This is the prologue, baby.
Yeah, we'll just use these trees. Just imagine the trees being rock now, and a couple baby trees, and mountains are around you. You get quite a bit of space, but you are kind of like in a bowl. Yeah, in a bowl. So flyers, Andy, and then your Bloodhawk, which it's not a flying familiar, right? It's just an animal companion, so you can't see through its eyes.
No, I can't. We don't have that yet.
Okay.
There's like spells and stuff later, but yeah.
Okay, so Rondos and Andy, you see. Trum, if you want to describe your character.
He brown skin, looks pretty much exactly like an elf
No one, like, if someone was to look at him, they wouldn't think that he's a half elf. He looks exactly like an elf. Long, red, bright red hair. Dressed in an immaculate suit, like almost something you would think a noble would wear, and looks just completely out of place in a mine. And the clanging came from his shield, which is also a war gong. And he's sitting there with the mark on his face one could ever see.
And you guys do see. So yep, and he is currently being attacked by 2. You guys all know what death dogs look like?
No.
I'm about to
Look it up. Death dogs.
I swear to God, if there's an article about pit bulls, I'm gonna fist fight somebody.
Okay.
There is 2. It's not 1 with 2 heads.
Oh.
It's 2 with 2 heads each. So 4 heads total. You see.
I love
You see
to see it.
2 death dogs. And babe, if you wanna, you see 2 of those. And then you see and I'll say, because it's like a short little run, we will go into like an initiative at this point, just to kind of give like a turn order. The people that are on foot, this is like, you will spend this round getting to the point, while the flyers will be able to act on this round, along with obviously Trum and the death dogs.
Oh, I forgot to wait to roll before you got until after you put the initiative up. Whoops.
What's that?
I forgot that I need to wait to roll until you have initiative set up.
Oh, no, I'm just writing it down.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! Sorry, I figured out how to roll for a Thorondos.
Nice.
Right, so Toronto's gonna have a separate turn than you.
In this case, yes. Normally it wouldn't be that way, but because he sent him with somebody else.
Me.
Yeah.
Alright, if you want to roll initiative for me, Pongo.
Yeah.
And we have Andy at 6 as well. It looks like do you guys want to just say who goes first, or do you guys want to try to figure out who has higher dex between Andy and?
They have the same dex. It's a +3.
Well, like one might be a 17 while the other is 16. I don't know.
Oh, mine's 17. I don't know.
Trum, what's your dex score?
It is. Damn, what the hell is my dex? 16.
Alright, so it would be Andy first. Then we have Pongo at 19, and Seto at 21, and the Death Dogs, I'll give them separate turns. We'll have Death Dog 1.
I'm gonna murder your clock.
I'm so sorry.
Did you want to also roll for Milo, or do you want Milo to stack on the same turn as me?
I'll have Milo just act on the same turn as
Okay.
you. They both rolled really shit. Death Dog 1 rolled a natural 1. Death Dog 2 rolled a natural 3.
That's just for us in chat.
Oh, because we didn't do the thing, the tracker, because we're...
Yeah, I don't have that set up, and if we're going to Foundry, it doesn't even matter that I learn.
Oh, we might be doing... Okay, that makes me happy. Alright.
Yeah.
Fair enough, very fair.
Lana, Andy, Trum, Thrandos is with...
I
Thrandos
wrote
is
red
actually
as the
above
name I
Pongo.
saw at the top instead of writing.
Yep.
Trom, that's fine.
Oh, you're okay. Then we have Death Dog 2. And then
I need to double
Also
check.
goes by red.
Okay.
Alright, so let me get you guys set up here. So we have
Okay.
Flyer and let's see, Flyer. Your pseudo dragon's riding on top of you, I imagine. Then Runner's back here, like kind of off screen with Milo here. And then we have Trum here with. Can I search Death Dog and there be an image on this site?
You can just look up like
Oh,
dog.
heck yeah. There's an animated one.
Ooh.
I don't know how well it.
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
I said I was hanging in the back, so I'm not sure if the back is down or up.
You guys are coming from like top right. You guys are technically off screen right now. Like it will take your turn, your first turn to get to, like enable. You're not. You guys use your action to move on your first turn. As flyers are able to move over this difficult terrain a little bit easier. Why can't I drag and drop this like normal?
That's weird.
I don't know.
Oh, these are premium. I don't want premium.
They're fancy.
I want free assets. Dog.
We actually used to have a premium account, but like nobody did anything with it. So it like.
What's the
I
point?
have a premium account.
You do?
I do.
Nice.
You guys get these cute little things.
Oh, what's your flows? What's
Did you show the stream what a death dog looks like?
I did not show the stream what a death dog looks like because that would.
They aren't actually fighting these cute little things. These things are not. I mean,
They're not cute.
They're not very cute.
They're a little spooky.
I have the stream pulled up in one of these tabs. Yep, right there.
It's almost like if you didn't have so many tabs up, you'd know right where it was.
Oh my god, Theo.
Sorry, what? I didn't say anything.
You're right, I should have more windows.
Exactly. You get it. Sage gets it.
I can't argue with the logic. Can't do it.
Okay. So Seto, you're up first. Like I said, you're able to, with your move and action, get to about where the flyers are, or you're able to get to where the flyers are. You're technically off screen right now.
Dirty foot. I
you're
can
not
move.
actually right there.
Oh. Get me to where I would be on just one movement turn, if you could, please.
Okay, so let me. You move 30 feet.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So you'd be like somewhere in this vicinity here. You'd be like right here.
All right. Sweet. Then I'm going to get there, and there is going to be a crack that lights up the fucking sky as I shoot my gun, which has a very long fucking range. Actually,
God.
let me make sure it actually reaches, because I may have... Okay, 45 feet, which is... Alright, yeah, I'm going to shoot.
Alright.
To draw them, also. So it will be, just so it's clear, this... Whoops. This guy here.
The southern one.
The southernmost, yes. Well, that went poorly. My gun explodes in my hand.
Oh no!
I rolled a 1.
Do you
That's
take
just-
damage or anything?
No, it's just misfires. If you want me to take like a
Alright.
die 4, that's like half
Wait,
my
does
hit
it
points.
explode or does it like jam?
It jams. It doesn't explode. It just visually you wouldn't know nobody would know the difference. They see just a big flash and smoke and me cursing. Like, yeah.
Thematically, we can tell.
Yes, it's bad has happened. And, ooh, 1 second, please. And that is my turn.
Okay, up next is Thrandos. Wait, Seto.
Oh yeah, I forgot to include Therondos in the initiative. That's my mistake.
I think Thrandos is currently dealing with his child.
That
Pongo.
is true.
We'll just fit him
We'll come back.
in. Yeah, when he comes back.
I'm running towards them.
Full movement.
Yep.
You're able to get to where the flyers are. So I'll say even maybe 1 square ahead right there.
And I can't do anything else because I moved, right?
You have a bonus action. So if you go to D&D Beyond and scroll down here, it'll tell you what you can do as a bonus action.
No. It's like rage, but I don't want to rage, yeah.
Okay.
So that's it.
So you move and that's your turn. We have Lana.
Okay. I am stealth. So they
So you
can't
do
see
move at
me.
half.
I do move at
speed.
half. I just want to go where I could get. Is there anywhere with my movement that I could get direct sight of either of them, or no?
So now you would get right on the screen, like right about where you are.
Okay.
And then whatever your range is it 65 feet?
Eldritch Blast is 120.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
Okay.
forgot you're not playing a ranger. You're playing a warlock.
Warlock. I
I knew
get
that.
advantage because I am stealth. Where is Eldritch? I'll just roll it twice because I don't know how to set up advantage, and I don't feel like learning how. 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
Acha. My Eldritch Blast curses came back to bite me. What?
Boom. Is that the southern one that you hit?
That's the arrow.
The western one, so Death Dog 1.
I love my Eldritch Blast luck. It's either I miss or I just roll a 1.
You've done 1 damage.
Yay!
It kind of hits him in the face, and he looks to or one of the heads that you hit in the face, very slightly hit in the face. Anyway, looks at you and growls, while the other one's still focusing on this red-headed elf.
I just give it a little wave.
Milo says, just within range. Let's get this sucker. And he fires his short bow, which has an 80-foot range, which I'm pretty sure.
That's 65 where I'm at, so that.
Yeah. So he has advantage, and he hits with a 17, and he does have sneak attack.
Pros.
Wait, why do these attacks have advantage?
Because we were stealthed.
Oh, okay, good answer.
For a total of 7 damage.
Nice.
So 8 total with your 1, and then Thrandos is actually like right on your turn anyway, Seto. It's like he's directly after you, so we're gonna fit him in now that you're back. And then we're going to Andy up next after Thrandos.
Right now he's just screeching wildly and kind of swooping, but not really like doing anything. He's not putting himself in any real danger. You know what I mean? But trying to distract one of them at least until Seto gets there.
And with Milo hitting the same dog, but in the other head, both heads do actually snap towards you, Lana, as Milo's hiding behind you. And he says, "Well, I think we got their attention off that guy, and he uses
He goes
his
back
bonus
to
action.
hiding.
Yeah, he uses his bonus action to stealth behind you. Because halflings are
As he
fucking
should.
dope and can do that.
Yeah,
hide
we can
behind.
reroll natural ones, and we can hide behind your taller party members. Play halfling.
Andy, you're up.
I'm gonna go to this one.
Oh wait.
I'm gonna, cause I'm flying. Do I get anything when I swoop down and hit it, or do I just swoop and hit?
I'll say like, are you doing like if you hit, I'll say if you hit, you get like, I'll say an extra 1d4 damage.
Okay, cool.
For like the extra power behind it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I wouldn't say you get any bonus to accuracy though.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my bonus action to summon Chalet on my staff, and then I'm gonna swoop down and smash it on the head. Hopefully. Hopefully. Possibly not.
But
13.
13 does hit.
Oh, 13 does hit. Okay. So that's 8, and then
D4.
4, 2. So
10.
10.
Woo!
And are you doing like a flyby as you're?
Yeah, I'm gonna hover like, I don't know, probably about 10 foot above them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna be like here, but like 10 foot in the air.
Just poke this shillelagh downwards.
Yeah. So I'm not quite like, I'll move myself. So I'm probably about here, but like 10 foot in the air.
Oh wait, but you did have to get within 5 feet to strike, correct?
Yeah. So I went.
And do owlins get the? Because I think owls get the ability to fly by, which means they can fly and not provoke attack of opportunity. I don't know if owlins also get that or not.
I don't think I do. So do I need to land?
If you want to, you can continue to fly.
Yeah.
But they will get attack of opportunity if you leave their threatened square after entering it.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go here so that they can't get. I'm gonna be 5 foot away from them then, so that they can't get flanking.
Oh, are you staying like 5 foot in the air, or are you landing?
I'm gonna land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trum, this owl wielding a shillelagh on a staff came down and whacked one of these dogs. The other dog got some kind of magical bolt to the head, one of its heads, and an arrow to the other head, and is no longer looking at you. It seems as though help has arrived at just the right time, and it is your go.
Awesome. So he sort of just looks around, sees that he's not alone, and while he is unsure whether the people who arrived are friends or not, because one is just a big ass bird who just flew in, and he don't really see the other ones. So for right now, he's just gonna take the help as it presents itself and hope that it doesn't they don't turn against him. So as of right now, he's just gonna use dissonant whispers on this homie.
All right. What kind of saving throw, or do you roll an attack for that?
It is the target must make a wisdom saving throw.
And is this blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, stunned, or
They take damage.
It's damage? Okay, so it's just a wisdom save. Okay. They rolled a 5 plus 1, 6.
Yeah, they didn't make it. So they take 3d6 psychic damage.
Nice.
Solid. Yeah, Dissonant Whispers is no joke. Hey, that's nice.
There's more that happens too. Hold on one second. Alright, so they must immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Okay. It says use its reaction.
Yeah, it has to use its reaction if it has a reaction. If it doesn't have a reaction, I don't think it does.
It does have a reaction, so it moves at speed.
Yep, as far away from me as its speed will take it. And it takes 11 psychic damage.
Just to keep it on map, that'd be way down here. As it turns and runs. Lana, the death dog that was giving you the side eye, seems to be whimpering and running away by whatever this red-headed elf did to it.
Okay. Sweet.
This guy just being whacked in the head by this bird. He's going to make one bite attack against the bird, and the other head is going to attack Trum with its bite attack. So
Two heads are damn useful.
Andy, it would be a 13.
Nope.
And Trum, it would be a 15.
Nope.
Balls. This one, it can move closer to you again, right? On its turn?
Oh, yeah, it can. It doesn't have to stay away.
Do you have a melee weapon drawn? Or wait, is force movement can't be used for attack of opportunity, correct?
Force movement isn't forcing somebody to use the reaction to move. It's not like telekinetic push or something like that. They're actually moving themselves.
You would get an attack of opportunity then.
I don't have my melee weapon. I have my boomerang equipped to me right now.
Okay, and that can't be used melee?
I don't think so.
It would say.
Let me look.
I know a short bow can't be used melee unless if you used it as a what's
Improvised weapon.
Improvised weapon. So I think you would be able to use it at least as an improvised weapon, in which it would do strength plus or 1 plus your strength modifier if it hit.
1 plus my strength modifier is 0.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that's great.
Alright, so we'll just say you don't get an attack of opportunity then. You don't even try. Yeah, so he's gonna come back up. You being its source of brain damage, it's going to, both heads are gonna attack you.
Makes sense.
One is a natural 19, the other is a natural 3. So I imagine the natural 19 plus 4 hits.
Yeah.
You do need to make a Constitution saving throw.
What for?
Trump needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oof.
You are considered poisoned.
Oh.
So that is, I think. Let me get my DM screen.
Bro, they got you the rabies.
Disadvantage whenever you
Do
attack.
anything, basically.
Yeah.
Disadvantage on life.
But he did roll minimum damage, so you take 3 piercing damage.
Yes, disadvantage on life.
Well, it's not. At least it's not disadvantage on saving throws.
Yes.
And that's their turn. We're back to Seto, then Throndos.
Alright. Seto gets... One second, let me make sure I got the right... Fucking... Oops. I'll just move in there. Thing. To get to 30, right there. Myself right next to Pongo. Pygmaeus right over there. And when I get here, I will actually go here. And you see a white... on his way there, you see him stow the gun away, kind of pissed, and pull out his sword, just, to have something ready. And he casts Bless, and a white, it almost feels like rain that evaporates when it hits your skin, as Andy, Trombone, and Pongo all are now blessed.
What? I'm gonna do a heart symbol.
Alright.
For meaning they are blessed, and blessed is a concentration, correct?
Yes.
And so I'll do, I guess.
There's the clock symbol.
Yep, clock, perfect.
Yeah, that
on
works
you
for
for concentrating.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And then Throndos, what's Throndos doing? Oh, I think you still have a bonus action.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing anything with my bonus action. I can't right now. Throndos.
What's Throndos doing?
Wait, let me see if Bloodhawks have that flyby situation real quick, because that's going to be really important.
They have pack tactics.
Oh.
I think the Suedo dragon has it though.
That's... Damn.
For some reason.
Pack tactics would work, but no, I don't... I have 12 fucking thing. It needs to roll like a 6 to hit me. I'm good. But it can use the help action on Pongo's next thing, so he has advantage on his attack and can roll a die 4.
So he's gonna fly next to Pongo and use the help action.
Yeah, he's gonna flap and distract the dog while, I'm assuming, because this is what the barbarians do, murder fucks it with an axe.
Okay.
As the barbarians do.
Pongo, it's your go.
And you feel really good about life right now.
I'm gonna run up to this little fella. Oh, this guy.
This one?
Yeah, there he is.
Alright.
Run up to him, and I'm going to bring my axe. I rage, and then I bring my axe down on the back of his neck to try to
Cleave its head. Okay. Are you calling a shot or just theatrics?
I mean, that's just where I'm hitting.
Okay, go ahead, roll. It's he is a medium monstrosity.
Yeah, so I feel like it'd be easy to.
Alright, roll with advantage. And if you need it, you have a die
How do I roll with
4.
advantage?
Roll again. Just roll twice.
I find the button.
Nice.
We're gonna go with the first damage though. Not just because it's bigger, but because you would have only rolled damage once.
Fair.
And then, is that with the +2 from raging?
No. That's just I hit one greater. That's a
Yes.
+6.
So that's 9 altogether.
Yeah, 9 altogether on Death Dog 2.
My range, make it 2.
They both are looking bloodied.
Oh yeah. There's a
For those who don't know, I use bloodied for about half HP. They might be a little above half, might be a little below half. It's about half.
You should have let us finish that. Figure it out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's figure out all your little intricacies.
Okay. So they are both looking bloodied. So you use your action, your bonus action, and your move action. Thorondos uses help action. Andy, it's your go. Andy, Sage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait,
You're
I
go.
didn't get a turn yet. I don't think.
Oh no, you're right, Lana. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Only 29 and a half hours.
We got this, guys. We can finish this up, get a little diddle-da, and then...
Yep. That's my thought process was introduction to Trum, and then...
I like it.
Pew pew again. Wait, that's only 15. I can move more. 15.
You can swear, if that's what you're asking.
It's my 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And then we go pew pew.
Not pop pop.
Pew pew.
No, because not fucking magnitude.
20.
20 does hit.
I hate.
Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew.
And you're doing the
Bottom.
southern one now?
Yeah.
For 7 damage. Okay.
And then my buddy goes to hit.
And and then Milo's like, did you move 30 feet?
Oh wait, I would have been weary that he can't move that quick. Back there. We're good.
Even that's a little far for him.
There we
Moving
go.
stealthily.
It's okay. We're good. There we go. He's
like,
right behind me.
He's like you start moving past. He's like, wait for me.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
can
he's hiding
cover
behind
back here, and he's gonna fire at advantage because he is stealth.
Mhm. I knew I was moving slowly for a reason.
And he does hit with a natural 18. Fucking Jesus Christ, rolled terrible, but he's gonna shoot at the same one you did anyway for a total of 6 damage.
Okay.
Literally rolled 3 ones.
Oh.
This death dog, the southern death dog, is looking fucked up, and as a bonus action, he's gonna hide again. And Lana, you almost don't even know he's there.
Yeah.
With a natural 20 on his stealth.
Okay.
Now, Andy, it is your go.
Is this one visible? Yeah.
What's that?
That's all good. That one.
He's not dead yet, but he is fucked up.
Well, I'm gonna ruin his day. So as he's just tried to bite me, I kind of swing down as hard as I can with my shillelagh or chalet or whatever, and think about stars.
What?
Oh my god.
Thinking about stars really does it for you.
Yeah, I'm saying she's been. God damn.
Andromeda.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a crit. That is.
How do I roll crit damage?
I just roll an extra 1d8.
You already did.
Did
1d8.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
that
did we
was...
not just double the damage?
No, that's not crit damage. That's
Oh
normal
no,
damage.
that's normal. Yeah.
Alright, well,
Yeah.
so you rolled. What'd she roll on the d8 here?
She got a 4 on the D8.
Yeah.
No, on the D8 I got a 6.
Yeah. So,
No, above that on the when you do
the
shillelagh.
ninth, okay.
yeah, because typically
That's
you double the die, right? So you roll
Yeah.
a 4, so it'd be an 8
8
plus 5.
Plus 5.
Oh,
13.
okay. Oh,
With
okay,
that,
okay.
with that, I think shillelagh is a blunt weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a magical weapon.
Bludgeoning.
And
It's a magical bludgeoning.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
hold
So
I'm having a look.
I think it'd be bludgeoning because it's
It
a
doesn't
quarterstaff.
say.
It
just
says
says-
damage you roll. It's bludgeoning damage.
Yeah,
it
it'd be-
says on okay.
Yeah,
'cause
it would be
on
bludgeoning
the-
because it's a quarterstaff, but it's magical because it's
But
shillelagh.
yeah. Well, I mean, you basically decapitate one of its heads with a bludgeoning weapon with that hit.
Jesus.
Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Blunt force guillotine.
And this one is dead, but his body's still there.
Druids
They don't
aren't
just disappear.
range.
Yeah, right? Holy shit. Fucking nature's fury
You
personified.
know what the funniest shit is about shillelagh or shillelagh? It's a fucking cantrip.
Yeah, dude, it's just fucking
It
amazing.
is so brutal early game.
Mm-hmm.
So brutal.
Trum, you watch as this other group just destroys this one dog. The owl person swooped in and nearly decapitated it with a blunt weapon. And you feel good about whatever your next move might be. You feel blessed, I guess.
Blessings.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessings upon you.
And it's your go, Trum.
He's just gonna use Dissonant Whispers again. On the same homie.
Oh wait, wisdom save?
Yep.
15 plus 1, 16.
Oof. So he does save, but he still takes half damage.
Okay. So 5.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to move.
He doesn't have to move. Okay. Is that your turn? You still have move or bonus?
I have a bonus action that I'm actually going to use. I'm going to use what the hell is it? Bardic Inspiration on
Okay.
on the bird who's just knocking off heads.
Facts.
Yeah, so you have a D6 is a D4 start.
1d6.
You have a 1d6 inspiration and D. As this death dog really mad at you, takes 2 bite attacks at you, Trump. One for a 19 and the other for a 3 or 7 total.
The 19 hits.
Did you roll a con save?
Again?
This time this one does 5 damage.
The world's
Ooh.
worst constitution saves.
Bro.
This time the poison intensifies and your maximum hit point pool reduced by 3.
Oh.
But that doesn't subtract like 3 hit points unless you
Oh.
go max, but you're not max.
Okay.
So 5. You do take 5 damage from the bite though.
Yeah, I'm almost fucking dead.
As you feel weak from the bite, but even weaker from like with it, you're sickly. That's the death dog's turn. Seto.
How does that death dog look?
He is looking bloodied.
I don't have. One second. Oh, all right. Never mind. You see, Seto pull his gun back out and shoot it seems like a tube of sound at the death dog as he casts Toll the Dead, since it's definitely not feeling too great. So
Okay.
I do one
That's a
die.
wisdom save, right?
Yep. 13.
Yeah, 12.
Yes!
11 plus 1.
Nice. So it's 1 die 12 for 9 damage.
He's looking fucked up at this point, but still standing.
9 damage. And he moves over to here, and actually here. No, there. All right, and Thorondor's not really for attacking real things. It's more like a like I want to, because pack tactics and advantage is nice, but yeah, he goes over to keep Seto safe.
Okay, and Pongo.
I run over to the other one, and I just want to kill it.
Okay, you swing your axe.
And I'm still raged. Because it goes for 10 rounds. I think this is it. I'm not sure. Oh, wait, double click, my bad. I don't know if that's what. Yes, I think.
No, you roll your great axe.
I went to the rage section. It's fine.
15 does hit.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage. Let's say you kind of just like step on this dog, getting over to this one. It's right there. Wait.
Holy shit. Solid roll.
Oh no, okay, sorry. So you rolled 15 damage. Roll to attack, which is the +6 button.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh!
So 24 does hit with a 15 damage.
That is
it.
hell.
Jesus, there we go.
How do you want to do this?
Got it.
Stolen from Matt Mercer. You don't know how you want it?
I'm not creative.
You
I chop his head off.
You chop both of his head off at
Both
this
of his
point
head off.
with one mighty red bloodshot red eyes. Leave both of his heads off with one swing.
You were so much more creative than me.
I don't know how creative that was. You just cut his head off. At this point, combat's over, but Milo does fire
Wait,
at the
really
dog,
quick.
just to make it measure.
No, it wouldn't matter. Fuck. I forgot that he had +4, a die 4 for
Is
a
it dead?
saving throw.
Are they dead?
Oh no!
You get out from in between Lana's legs.
Red would have a D4 to the saving
Oh, yeah.
throw.
I can't hear you guys.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
My
because that's what.
just
Yeah,
dead.
you're good. Theo was mentioning how Red would have had a D4 to that saving throw.
It wouldn't help me.
Yeah, I realized he rolled a 3 or some shit,
yeah.
so it's like...
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
I think it was a nat 1 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
painful.
I'm sorry, my headset died and you guys were talking. I was talking over you.
You're
Oh, that's
okay.
I kind of go to beckon everyone. Did anyone take damage other than?
Other than Trum, I don't think so.
Okay,
I
so
didn't take anything.
I cast healing word for Trum.
Okay. Trum, your hit point maximum is reduced by 3, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, that just brings me all the way up to the 7 that I have now.
I mean, better than nothing.
Yeah.
Better than the 2 I was on.
He...
Much better than the 2.
I was almost dead. I should have left.
Yo.
Yeah. So Milo is. What in the fuck are you doing out here all by yourself?
You talking to me, bro?
Well, I mean, are you the one that's by yourself?
I don't think I am. I see a big owl here, a dragon over there.
Listen here, you sarcastic asshole. I'm the leader of this group, and I say you're by yourself. Not anymore. And Milo quickly stealths and starts like walking the perimeter, just seeing if any more of them death dogs are coming by. As you guys talk or whatever you guys want to do. Floor's yours.
So, what's up with your leader, guys?
What do you mean, leader? What leader?
He says,
Lonzo's like, what leader? We don't have one.
This is a round robin organization, I think you'll find.
I think those were best.
Seto's just watching Thorondor as he just tears into the face of one of these things, just eating eyeballs and like right out of the head. Just really living up to the Bloodhawk reputation of being a completely visceral beast.
One of the heads.
So, is the bird related to the other bird, or
No. One bird's
That is
mine.
not even vaguely an owl.
Yeah.
Have you looked at its manners?
no?
Hey, I take offense to that, you know. He's got fine manners. For, you know,
He's eating
a
a dog.
Bloodhawk. Yeah, so that's what he eats. You don't expect him
Look,
to
I'm
use a
not-
knife and fork, do you?
I'm not dismissing that. But I also like to believe that I have a different level in
Aye.
comparison.
Aye.
More suitable for tables.
You know, some people just see feathers, you know? They don't see the being inside the feathers.
You know?
Thorondo, smelling rot and decay, does kind of look at Trum's arm a little bit and with like a tasty look on whatever kind of look.
He kind of
First,
peers
yeah.
over his shoulder, just kind of looks at the arm and gives one of those, you know, the like turkey vultures or the vultures from like the old cartoons, where they would see something and just be like smack their lips. Just gives-
As Trum, you look down and like your flesh is like rotting and decaying almost at a the healing word seems to have at least slowed it down, but it's pretty bad wound you got on your arm.
Question: since it's in relation to animals, could I roll a nature check to see if I have some type of understanding of what this is?
I will say sure.
Okay.
The DC is a little bit harder because it's more of a monstrosity than it is
Okay.
a beast.
No. So I'm proficient, and it said no.
At least you were hitting things.
Yes,
Like,
that's true.
ugh.
So, my arm is pretty bad here, guys. Not gonna lie to you. I came pretty close to dying in that fight.
Is anyone good at medicine? I would say anyone
I-
proficient in medicine can get.
I'm not proficient, but I can try.
Yeah, I'm not proficient.
We
either,
could
but I
all
have-
like try. He just pulls out his sword. He's like, put your arm on a stump.
And I do have a medicine kit.
Oh shit!
So I'll say you and one other person are able to give him medicine.
Who's got the
I don't want
highest
just
wisdom?
5 people to.
I've got really decent wisdom,
I've got a 13.
and in
wisdom's
theory I
low.
studied in libraries, so I like to think she knew what frostbite was.
But
Fair.
I can like give my medicine kit to the 2 best people.
I guess if 13 qualifies me as one of the best.
I have a 12, so maybe you match.
What's
with
your
that
wisdom?
distance.
The healer's kit.
Plus
Sorry,
zero.
not medicine kit.
So you have like a whole 10 or 11. Pongo has 10 or 11.
I have a 12.
So I guess,
11.
Jesus Christ. Okay, it's me and you. I'm offering assistance. I'm the nurse.
So you're giving Andy advantage.
Yeah, and the
And then the
bonus
Oh,
from
medicine. What does the medicine kit do exactly?
plus 40.
Healers.
No.
Kit.
Try.
The kit is a leather pouch containing bandages, salves, and splints. The kit has 10 uses. As an action, you can expend one use of the kit to stabilize a creature that has 0 hit points without needing to make a wisdom medicine check.
So I'll say with this, so it's just stabilize basically.
Yeah.
I'll say with your study, you go through this medicine. Well, first give me a medicine check at advantage.
You're gonna hate me.
Jiminy Christmas.
See if you roll a natural 20.
I'm
Just-
a wisdom. That's my thing.
Should I even
See-
roll?
Damn.
And we say roll a 20, and what does this B word get? A 20.
I
This
said
is
a natural 20. That's not.
Yeah,
hey,
I
a
did
20 is a
think that
20 in
too.
any book.
Yes.
You know that nothing in this medicine kit will be of use. You do know that this is a disease, and judging by the severity of it, it's probably beyond anything of medicinal curing. You would need some kind of curing spell.
I'll be honest, guys. I'm looking at this arm and I'm looking at what we've got, and unless we've got somebody with restorative powers, we need to go back to town.
It's probably for the best in that instance. Going in the mines might not be the best idea for him either.
I mean, it's not like we had the easiest time getting here. There are bullywogs and fuck all. All right. Well, there's no easy trip in either direction, you know.
No, but from what I can tell, this is a disease type of infection, and it will continue.
Well, I'll say it's not going to get worse.
But is there a saving throw to get better?
No, it needs a cure disease.
Needs a cure disease.
Can I
Jesus.
suggest something Pongo says out loud?
Yeah.
Mm?
Why don't we send the people that fly to town to get the medicine, and us stay with him?
I can fly.
That would work.
True.
Flying
Moving
goes
would
faster
be
than
the
walking.
best.
Thorando's got 60 fly speed at a dash that goes up to times 5 times 8.
I only have 30 fly speed, but
You said you were able to determine that a typical salve would not cure this. It would need to be magical.
okay. So I say to the party, like, medicine isn't gonna work. This beast monstrosity thing that's attacked us is a creature of beyond animal, and therefore it is inflicted beyond human typical wounds.
All right. I mean, if we don't have the choice, I guess. But you owe me some fucking broomstone.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, you better fucking learn what it is.
Yo.
He seems genuinely upset about that. You can't see much, but his black eyes are angry.
Can't hear you guys anymore.
Your thing died.
Yeah, I tried plugging them in, but it didn't work apparently.
Well, you have to put them in the charger. Is this one working?
I don't know.
No. Oh, no one's talking.
Not right now. Hello.
we're waiting.
Talk now. Can you guys hear?
Hi.
Yeah, we can
You
hear.
can.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, Sarah. I was talking about Sarah can hear you.
Oh.
No one Raycon died.
But But yeah, so it's not going to get any worse, but it's not going to get better until. So you're just -3
If
maximum.
it's not gonna get
right
any
now.
worse, we can always go where we're going. I'm sure there's a town there that can heal it. No sense in going
Oh
back.
no, we're going to a ruin.
Oh.
Well, you're on the ruin right
Yeah,
now.
like-
we're on it?
Speaking of yes. Speaking of Broomstone, you're looking around at the architect buildings long broken from the fall of the Draconia. You say Broomstone and you look around and you realize that you are on the last floating city of Wildmount. Having studied Broomstone, Seto, you're almost in awe having made your way here. This is for you it's crazy that you're here. I guess.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's once the moment of the fucking 2-headed murder wolves pass, he's like, oh shit, this is he takes it in, and he's still upset, but you just see him kind of his shoulders fall slack, and he just kind of starts to pan his head around.
Alright, so because I have business in this room, I vote for us just staying here. And if we get into a fight, I can just be in the back. I'm not really good at upfront fighting anyway. That's how I got in this mess.
Okay. We can always run.
Yeah, running is a valid option.
Or just burn them.
Burn the dogs. I
Can
wonder
we-
who has burn.
Mango does.
If we eat the dog, would we catch a disease?
It's a monstrosity, not an animal.
Yeah, with Throndos eating it, I mean, I'll say
like-
Throndos has a pretty strong immune system, and he's almost he's eating it just because it's something to eat, but he's not this is my
Liking
first
it.
meal.
He basically
he looked at your arm,
They're not
thinking
happy.
that would taste better than what he's eating.
Yeah. He just ate the eyes out because they're soft, and he happens to really like eyes.
What's that?
If we cook it, it won't go away.
Well,
No.
I mean, it'll you could disintegrate it, burn it, yeah, but it's not gonna be tasty meat. It's not.
We have rations anyways for a couple days, so.
Yeah, me too. I just really wanted to eat a monster.
Could
Yeah.
I harvest some of the saliva?
Give me either survival or do you have any vials? What are you trying to harvest it in?
That is a good question. I have
Even if
nothing.
you want to empty a flask out or
I
a
don't have
water
a
skin or something.
I have a water skin he can use.
All right, yeah, I'll use his water skin. So yeah, he just kind of takes whatever water he has in there and drinks it, dumps the rest out.
I
And,
didn't have no water.
oh,
I was
alright.
very unprepared.
Oh, fair enough. Then yeah, he just puts in the as much saliva from the multiple heads as possible.
Go ahead and give me either a survival or medicine. Low DC. I mean, their mouths were pretty slobbery with this. Wanted to be.
Both are the
meal.
same fucking roll for me. I'm gonna go survival.
Someone want to give it.
Hey, oh, too late.
You're good.
Oh, I could give myself guidance.
It was
We already
DC
rolled, so
10.
it's fine.
It was DC
Oh,
10.
nice. I got it.
You're able to get, I'll say, enough to inflict the 2 hits required to do the permanent, semi-permanent
All right.
hit point loss.
Nice. All I gotta do is coat weapons in this shit.
Or just poison someone's drink.
Yeah. Or both. We don't need to limit ourselves.
But you got like 2 doses basically.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna add that.
These are morbid ideas.
Yeah. Well, we're not. Apparently, we're not
Yeah,
good people.
I don't know anyone's alignment, but
I'm chaotic.
Yeah.
chaotic neutral.
I, Leah, am chaotic. Lana would never suggest this.
Fine. I need to be better. That's.
I feel like Sage from the Pathfinder game just corrupted everyone's concept who was around that of what good was. It's like, I want to put the goblin on my feet and wear them as shoes and eat them. It's like, yes, perfectly normal. She was a plant. She could do shit like that. No, it was normal to us. This was
It's just a concern, ma'am.
concerned. I am concerned.
Are we at a point where we want to pick up next session where maybe we get
Yeah,
better
that's
feeling
good.
for what our characters would say upon you grabbing the saliva? You know, let Trum really get a feel for what why his character's here to begin with.
Yeah, no idea why
and-
it's wrong.
Yeah. Well, we kind of threw it all together, you know, this last minute. I wasn't able to log in or hop into Discord this last week or really focus on chatting with you guys, but I think we had a pretty good session.
It was real fun.
Is
I'm
this one of
excited.
those diseases that'll go away with a long rest?
No.
No.
I'm gonna guess not.
I had to try.
This reduction lasts until the disease is cured.
Oh shit.
Fucking dogs.
Dogs. All right. Well, on that note, this has been us. Thank you for joining. Oh snap! We had people up in here. Well, yeah. Thank you for joining. This has been Vagabond Gaming. As always, a reminder that life happens in every direction. So let's be good to one another and roll with those 1s and 20s.